What's up, everyone? DarkSidePhil here with a video where I kind of just want to vent and I want to not expose. I want to kind of just talk about my feelings about something that is a major announcement in gaming today. If you haven't heard yet, Rayman Legends, which is the direct sequel, maybe it's a prequel, I'm not sure. I think it is supposed to be a sequel to Rayman Origins, which came out back in late 2011. Which was supposed to be a Wii U exclusive. I mean, they announced this game as a Wii U exclusive when it was first announced publicly to everyone. At E3 last year, they had it on hand to do a demo, and it was, again, Wii U exclusive. Today, they've announced that, number one, the game that was supposed to come out on February 26th of this year is now delayed until September. So a 7-month massive delay. But in addition to that, the game's now going to be multi-platform. So a game that was originally announced, it's only going to be for the Wii U. It's been advertised like that for more than 8 months. They've changed their minds. Ubisoft, I guess Montpellier, now I don't know if it was their design choice or their choice to make the change or if it was like their parent company, just Ubisoft itself. But what a complete 180. What a complete flip, okay? And there's a lot of mixed feelings going around about this right now, and I guess it primarily focuses on whether or not you're a Wii U owner, and whether or not you maybe even bought the Wii U to play this game. So let's talk a little bit about this, okay? The Wii U has had a rough time since it launched late last year. You know, it had a lot of titles that were cross-platform, and it's actually been determined that the versions for the Wii U are inferior to those on other consoles, almost as if the ports were rushed to try to get them to be on the Wii U for launch, and they've had lots of issues such as stuttering of graphics, graphical bugs, glitches, and delays, and things like that, just overall performance issues. In addition, since the Wii U was a brand new console that not a lot of people were, like, confident in, not a lot of people actually bought it at launch, and you can, right now, you can go to the store and buy a Wii U no problem. During the holiday season, you could just walk into any store and buy a Wii U no problem. There was no shortage like there was with the Nintendo Wii, the original one, or the Xbox 360 or the PlayStation 3. There wasn't that kind of a rush to get it at launch. And so a lot of these games that have online capabilities, there's no one to play. People who have bought games like Call of Duty, Black Ops 2 are complaining there's no one online playing, or the people that are online are few and far between, so the connections are ass. So the system is kind of in peril. If anything, the only thing that's really given the system a boost are the console exclusives, which are, quite honestly, Nintendo Land, which came with the system if you bought the collector's edition, but it's just a party game. New Super Mario Bros. U, which obviously it's a 2D side-scrolling Mario games, those usually do well. And Zombie U, which has been a polarizing game. There's people who love it and people who absolutely hate it. So even that, the game that was supposed to be a system seller, ended up being split down the middle and not doing too much positivity when it comes to sales for the Wii U. And so what it really came down to when people bought their Wii U's last year, it was, what are the console exclusive games? And right at that point it was going to be Mario, Zombie U, Rayman Legends. And now for this announcement to come out, especially only 3 weeks, actually less than 3 weeks before the launch window of the game when it was supposed to come out for the Wii U, is not only disheartening, it's upsetting, it's insulting, because basically people are feeling like they've been lied to. And I'll be honest, I'm one of them. When I bought my Wii U last year, I was excited for 3 games. One of them I really liked, that was Mario. One of them I really hated, that was Zombie U. But I was really looking forward to Rayman Legends. And the thing that really gets me about this whole situation is that it wasn't like they'd said, oh, this was a tentative release date. If you actually go to the website right now, and I don't know if they're going to change it in the next couple hours, so you might want to rush over there, RaymanLegends.com, it says right at the top of the website, releasing February 26, 2013. So they were ready to launch. In fact, just a few weeks ago, they released a public demo of the game on the Wii U. And the demo ran perfectly fine. The demo was streamlined. It was great. It really showcased the graphics and the capabilities of the Wii U in a positive light, and it really worked. And John Rambo, even who was skeptical about using the touchscreen gamepad for a Rayman game, after playing the demo, he was won over. He said, this is great, let's do a co-op playthrough of this game on the Wii U. I think it's going to be great. So, for this to just suddenly come out of nowhere is disheartening, it's upsetting, and it's insulting. And I'll be honest, if you are a Wii U owner, you have every right to be upset. Because you might have actually bought the Wii U on the fact that, okay, this was going to be one of the console exclusive games and you really loved the original game. Now, I really feel that what's going on right now with Rayman Legends is a result of many different factors, and let's go through them. Number one, ever since Rayman Legends was announced as a console exclusive on the Wii U, the fans of the original game were kind of up in arms. And the reason is Rayman Origins was not a console exclusive game. Now keep in mind, the Wii U wasn't out when Rayman Origins came out. But, that being said, people who played the original game either owned an Xbox 360 or a PlayStation 3 or a Nintendo Wii, and they were upset. They're saying, wow, now you're going to force us to go buy a $300 to $350 new console just because you've decided to make this exclusivity agreement. So first there was this uproar. There's always been this kind of negativity about the fact that it was a console exclusive. But I really feel that a lot of the people who were a fan of this series actually did go out and buy a Wii U to try to support it because they know that they want to play the next installment. And for Ubisoft to do kind of a bait and switch, which honestly I feel that's what this is. It was a bait and switch. At first, Ubisoft said, we're going to make it a console exclusive. We have confidence in the Nintendo Wii. And we think that the Nintendo Wii is going to do well. Nintendo always does well. And then all of a sudden, they actually watched the launch and said, oh shit, this is really botched. The cross-platform games don't play well and don't have good online play. The console exclusives are hit or miss, and there's not a lot of them. Oh shit, Nintendo didn't sell a lot of these consoles over the holiday season. What are we going to do if we release this console exclusive game in February and, you know, it doesn't sell well because not a lot of people have Wii U's? And I really think that's what happened. I think that it's kind of a panic mode. They put a lot of time and money into the development of this game, and they know it's a sequel to a game that was successful, and they want this game to be successful. And now, 8 months later, they're realizing, oh shit, we messed up. We shouldn't have made it a console exclusive game. But herein lies the problem, okay? You can't do that. You can't announce a game as one thing and then change it in the 11th hour, which is quite literally what they've done. Here it is less than 3 weeks before the actual release date of the game, and they're saying that the game is going to be delayed 7 fucking months. And now, of course, this leads to massive speculation. I'll be honest, what my opinion really is here. I don't think that it was that the game was not ready to be released on February 26th as the reason for delay, okay? I feel the game's done. I do. I think the game is done. I've played the demo. The demo was fine. I think that this is really a panic move by Ubisoft. And of course, they'll spin it and say, oh, well, we were contacted by thousands of fans who said they were upset that the game is a Wii U exclusive, and so we're going to make it cross-platform to please the fans. I don't think that's what the motivation was. I think they've been looking at the sales numbers of the Wii U, and some bigwig at Ubisoft said, oh shit, we fucked up. Someone told me this was going to be a great idea to be console exclusive because Nintendo's great. Nintendo sucks right now, so we have to panic and we have to completely change our plans. Now, Ubisoft could have done the right thing. They could have announced, okay, we realize that everyone wants this game to be cross-platform, so we're still going to go ahead with our plans and we're going to release the Wii U version on the 26th of February because we've told you for 8+ months that it was going to be on the Wii U and it's done, and we want to get the game out there and not betray the fans and make you wait another 7 months, and especially the fans who bought the Wii U just for this game. We don't want to screw you over. We're still going to release the game, but then we're also going to design the cross-platform versions that will be released later in the year in September. But they didn't do that, and you want to know why? This is why. Sales numbers. Because here's what the deal is with business and the gaming industry right now. They realize that if they release the Wii U version first, that people will, oh, the Wii U get it first, well fuck them then, I'm not buying it. It's going to be old by the time that it comes out for the console that I own, so fuck that. And then there'll also be people who, yes, they're going to jump on the internet, they're going to watch playthroughs of the game on the internet, they're going to see the whole game, and they're going to say, okay, I don't need to buy it anymore. So there would also be the fact that, okay, well, the game came out for $60 full in February. It's 7 months later. The game's technically old, and now you're going to charge $60 full to buy it on 2 other consoles. So it's a purely business move. It has nothing to do with, oh, we want to please the fans or anything like that. Because if they really wanted to please the fans, they wouldn't screw over the people who bought the Wii U by delaying the game 7 months for no fucking reason whatsoever besides this. So it's a really disappointing situation. It's disheartening, especially for people who were kind of giving Nintendo the benefit of the doubt and were the early adopters of the Wii U, because now, I'm going to be honest, I think the situation looks pretty bleak for the console. The console was released way late into this generation of consoles. The console really doesn't have any selling points over the other the other current generation consoles. It's got HD graphics, but it's not any better than the other two consoles. The only thing that's different between this and the other consoles is that it's got a gimmicky touchscreen controller that most mainstream gamers don't give a shit about. So when you really come down to it, what was the selling point of the Wii U? The games. And this is what I've been saying, and this is what John Rambo has been saying ever since 2 years ago. We covered E3 and we talked about the things that were announced. You need to have games in order to sell hardware. I don't fucking understand what these what these console developers are not understanding at this point. It doesn't matter what technology, it doesn't matter what gimmicks, it doesn't matter if the fucking thing's made of solid gold and a fucking hooker comes out and blows you on launch day. If it doesn't have games that people want to play, your console's not going to do well. And the Wii U was a complete fucking fluke. I'm sorry, not the Wii U. The regular Nintendo Wii was a complete fucking fluke because Nintendo sold it to people who weren't gamers. They took a console with a stupid gimmick. I wave my arm. You know, something that a 5-year-old would be entertained by. But for some reason, the world decided that this was a great thing, even though it's obvious it's meant to entertain a child. It's so fucking pathetic that the people ran out there, oh, video games are cool now because I can move my arm. And they sold millions upon millions of consoles of the Wii simply because of a stupid gimmick. It wasn't because of games. In fact, a lot of the games sold poorly on the Wii that they thought were going to do well. But the console sold well because people love to fucking do stupid shit, okay? So it was a fluke. It wasn't successful for the reasons that Nintendo wanted. It was not successful as a gaming console. It was successful as a gimmick for fucking, you know, young adults and adults to act like assholes, okay? People who aren't into video games. So for Nintendo, again, to do the same fucking thing with the next console just shows complete lack of understanding of the gaming culture, of business, of like anything. So I'm flabbergasted that Nintendo made this move with the Wii U and they pushed ahead the way that they did, and now they're paying for it. So now, if you own a Wii U, let's be honest, what have you done with it for the past 2 months? Nothing. My Wii U, since I finished playing Super Mario Bros. U, has fucking sat right there. And it's covered in dust, and I'm not doing anything with it. There's nothing, literally nothing to do with it. There have been no new releases that were worth playing. All of the new releases have actually been cross-platform games, no first-party games. The next game coming out that supposedly will be good is Pikmin. Okay, that might sell some consoles, but Pikmin? Pikmin? Pikmin wasn't like a huge system seller for Nintendo. It was a cool first-party title, and of course it's quirky and it's fun because it is a part of the first-party Nintendo line of games and it's a Nintendo franchise. But that's not going to sell systems. You know what I mean? What else are people going to do until? And here's the thing: there was this announcement a couple weeks ago that at E3 this year, Nintendo's going to be in full force showing off all their new first-party titles for the Wii U. So at E3, we're going to see a remake of Zelda Wind Waker for the Wii U. We're going to see probably the new Mario titles, probably Mario Kart. Okay, so you're going to sell 4 games. That's not a successful console run, okay? I don't know what's going on with Nintendo. I think, really, if you want my opinion, and this is me speculating, things could change later in the year, but being with the fact that we now know for sure that Sony is going to be announcing the PlayStation 4 sometime this year, if not sometime this month, we know that Xbox is definitely, or Microsoft is definitely developing the next Xbox, okay? And whether or not it comes out this year, but the fact that we're in this looming window of the next generation of consoles, this console, this Wii U, is going to get left in the dust. Nintendo's going to say, fuck, why did we do this? We made a console way too late in the life cycle. The capabilities won't be up to whatever the next 2 generations of consoles will do. And we only have 5 fucking games to sell on it because everything else is cross-platform and no one's buying the cross-platform games for our system. So, I know I'm kind of going on at length about this, but for me it's disappointing because I actually did have some faith in the Wii U, thinking, gee, we're going to have these first-party games that are coming out, and it actually, I said it actually had one of the best launch lineups of a console in a long time. Unfortunately, now it seems like it's dead in the water. It's a fucking paperweight. What am I supposed to do with this console until Pikmin? And then after Pikmin, what am I supposed to do with this console until the new first-party games come out later this year? I actually had Aliens Colonial Marines reserved for the Wii U because initially it was reported that the gamepad was going to add features that wouldn't be available on the other generation or the other consoles because obviously you don't have the gamepad. But after the poor launches of all the other cross-platform games, the fact that the graphics were inferior and there was no one to play with online, I'm not getting Aliens Colonial Marines for the Wii U. Fuck no. I'm not suicidal. I don't want to have a game that runs like shit and has no one to play online simply because I want to look at blips and bloops on my fucking gamepad. I'm not an idiot. So being that I have the choice between multiple consoles, the choice is clear. Pick the consoles that people are playing games on and that you know the game's going to run fine on. So I think that this Rayman Legends debacle is a huge blow to Nintendo. I think Nintendo is screwed. And maybe, a lot of people will probably disagree with me. Oh, just wait for the first-party games. I'm sorry. 5 games are not a console, okay? You can't just sell 5 games. And that's what's going to happen with this. There's no more. The motion control gimmick has worn out. Anyone who wants to do it still owns the Wii. They're not going to go buy the Wii U. The gamepad is a shitty gimmick that no one cares about. No one cared about it when they announced it at E3 2 years ago. No one cared about it at E3 this past year. And now the console's out, no one cares about it. Nintendo doesn't listen to fan feedback. This is the problem with them. They don't listen. It's very similar to what Sony did with the PlayStation 3. When they develop something, they go like this. They put their fingers in their ears and they go, "Nyeh, nyeh, nyeh, we know better than everyone else, and we don't care about the feedback from the fans. We think that in the long run, we're going to be successful no matter what." And when the Nintendo Wii was announced, fans said, "What the fuck is this? We don't want motion controls. We like our regular controller that you pick up and you put in your hand. This is good enough. No one's asking for this to fucking go, woo!" But Nintendo didn't listen, and because of a complete fucking fluke, and Nintendo selling the console to people who weren't actually the intended demographic to sell to, they were successful, and so they think that now they're gods of the gaming industry. You're not. You fucked up. You have essentially put yourself back in time, and I don't know what's going to happen to Nintendo at this point unless they completely ditch the Wii U in the next year or 2 years and they make another console that's going to stand up to the new generation of consoles that are coming out within a year. So, I'm going to be honest, I'm upset because I was really looking forward. I was actually, now that I've actually completed Dead Space 3 with John Rambo, we finished our co-op playthrough of it, and that's actually being released over on my gaming channel over the course of this week. We were looking forward to starting to plan the Rayman Legends co-op playthrough, and now, it's dead in the water for 7 months, and the other thing that gets me, Rayman Legends is now coming out the same month as Grand Theft Auto 5. Are you stupid? No, I seriously have to ask this question to Ubisoft. Are you stupid? Grand Theft Auto 5 will probably, if not definitely, be the biggest selling game of this year. Okay? I would actually like to see how GTA does against Call of Duty. Because GTA is a system seller, baby. GTA is a game that every installment sells like crazy and has made record sales numbers. People love the series. I want to see how it's going to do against Call of Duty. I really do, because now we're going to have you're going to have 2 actual contenders go head to head. But the point is, everyone's going to be playing GTA come September. No one's going to want to take time out to play Rayman Legends, and that's sad because I know Rayman Legends is going to be a great game. The first one was outstanding, one of my favorite games of 2011. But for Ubisoft to not see that, again, what are you fucking thinking? You can't put it out in fucking August, so at least people have a month to play it before the biggest game of the year comes out and everyone's distracted? Complete greed on Ubisoft's part. I'm telling you right now, that's all it's greed. They saw, oh, Nintendo, system seller, this will be great, we're going to go ride the wave of popularity with Nintendo, we'll make it a console exclusive. Of course, no one wanted that, but they just, again, we know better than everyone else, we're going to make this crazy decision. They fully advertised the game for 8 months after the console launch of the Wii U that it's going to be a console exclusive. Now, they completely realize, oh, we're not going to make enough money on this game, so fuck everyone who bought a Wii U. We're delaying it 7 months, and now everyone will get it at the same time, but the Wii U owners got completely fucking screwed. So, bad situation for everyone. I wanted to talk about it and get my feelings out there because I wanted to vent a little bit. I'm honestly pissed. I own a Wii U. I was really looking forward to playing this game in February. A 7-month delay for a game that, from all reports and intents, is done. It was fully expected to come out then. The demo's out. The demo runs fine. It makes no sense for a customer loyalty standpoint to do that. It's really fucked up, and I don't know. Is the Wii U doomed? Is it doomed to be a console that only people will buy the first-party games for, and that's it? We're done. The system is dead in the water because you got new consoles coming out. They're going to have better graphics, better technology than this current gen. I don't know. I think Nintendo really fucked up. Again, up in their ivory towers, we know better than everyone else. They don't listen, and when you don't listen, you get fucked. So that's the situation. Sorry to anyone who was looking forward to Rayman Legends coming out in 3 weeks. I'm just as disappointed as you. We're all going to have to wait till September now, and I'll be honest, I'm probably not getting it on the Wii U now, because I know it's probably going to run better on the other consoles, and that's just the situation. So there. Okay, that's it for my little rant. I hope you enjoyed it. I really liked getting this off my chest. Thanks a lot for joining me. I'll probably be doing some videos like this in the future if a situation really irks me like this one did. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you then.